Good morning, Vananda. Welcome for the webinar, second day. And today I will talk about COVID-19 product design, manufacturing, that is 3D printing, so to shape the future. Today I will try to discuss introduction, COVID-19 experience and responses, product design, designing parts, COVID-19 challenges, so steps of the product design. So introduction, additive manufacturing, 3D printing. So what is 3D printing? Why learn 3D printing? 3D printing methods. So COVID-19 product, door handle, design with the SketchUp software. So door handle slicing process with Ultimaker. Applications, I will try to discuss with the 3D printing. So which are majorly in the globally references. So this is the what I'm going to discuss today. So introduction part, if you see the life of our human being now, if you compare with the last 6 months, before 6 months our life is different, and now our life is completely different due to because of this pandemic of COVID-19. So we are facing the different experiences, and now I will try to share some of the COVID-19 experience and responses. Of course, it is hard to recollect all this information. So, but I will try to show, because I have taken it as one challenge, especially to avoid the spreading of the coronavirus. On that point, I designed one component with the SketchUp software. So I will try to show that one, how to design that software, and with the software how to design the door handle product, and how you are going to make that process of how you are going to get the 3D printing with that with a simple manner. I will try to show. This is only to know, to get awareness and how the simple 3D printing machine is, 3D printing technologies looks like. So I will make in such a way, in a smoother way, and now we will go into in detail now. So impact of the pandemic, what happened up to now? So there are many disruptions of supply from the China. So due to because of that, completely production stopped. And even we are looking for the other alternatives. So from the China, almost for all the countries, around 2,495 goods they are exporting to all the countries. So it is suddenly stopped because of this pandemic. So there are many disruptions to the industries, and industries already stopped production, and they are looking for the other alternatives to get that gap, to meet that gap. And even there, of course, we are facing now buying goods even from the supermarket, and we are feeling panic even buying. So we are finding empty shelves. So due to because of more consumption, and we are looking for the other alternatives, and there is a lot of change in demand. So due to because of this panic, we are purchasing the goods at a time, what the things required for more, and even we are going to the range of rationalization to get the manage the things. And the thing, moving to working home, that is, you can see we are completely shifting our work style. So we are working from home, so completely through the visual meetings and social isolations. So I don't know when we'll get all these things to be fine, but right now we are changing this. This is the way how we are working from home. And there are some goods which are having very urgent in demand, especially for the PPEs, personal protective equipments. So this is the only way right now we are getting the protection. So from this coronavirus, that is a rapid increase in the production of this PPE and rapid increase in the ICU capacity, especially in the hospitals. So this is one of the urgent demand on the product. And this is what the challenge for the engineers to meet these kind of urgent demand goods, or you can say urgent demand products. So this is the challenge for the engineers, especially for the designers. So to design the component in such a way, and producing that component in such a way to meet the demand requirement. So especially respirators, PPE, personal protective equipment, especially with the mask, even hand gloves. Rapid response with a different kind of the demand requirement, and envisioning the future. So it is completely blank now. We don't know what will going to be happen even after a month like that. That's what the experience we are facing now. So a lot of research and innovation is going on to overcome and to meet all these kind of requirements. So online and remoting education is one of the challenging tasks, even to make sure all the things go in the right way. And working on fostering community, especially to support the working environment and the working community members even. So there are lot of economic challenges. So by using the use of technologies, we have to vary what is going to be missing. That's what the challenging for the engineering side now. So today I will take some of the challenges of the COVID-19. Of course, there are many challenges. I used to take this as one particular part. Why? Because I am going to design one component, a simple component. So if you see, there are rubs on the face due to because of this N95 mask. And even if you are using the gloves on the hand, so you will get the white fingers. So due to because that white fingers, it will leads even the lumpness. So if it is lumpness started, that is it's one kind of a disease. So it will spoil the nerve system. So this is what the dangerous, or can say the things we are going to expect from this if it is continuous like this. So we have to be clear, and we have to make sure of this safety. These are one of the challenges. You can see the blurred images. So things what we need to improve. So we have to be away from the harmful side effects, especially N95 mask. If you are using N95 mask, especially the front end employees. So front end employees means like doctors, nurses, and even the police officers. So they have to wear continuously. The main drawback of this N95 mask is every 1 hour at least they have to go for the fresh ventilated air. If it is not the case, so there may be chances of reducing the blood levels, oxygen level in the blood. So that may lead to another problem. And also due to because this COVID, that is N95 mask, it will stick completely to the face as well as to the skin. Due to because of that, these blurs are coming. And what things we are stopping us to go for other development, that is because of the duration of action. So we need some time even to get, because of this COVID pandemic. So things are changing completely and getting more even. And if you see the another kind of disease, that is hands, especially the numbness because of the wearing. Of course, this also frontline employees, especially the doctors and nurses. So they used to wear because they need to protect the infected patients. So there is a chances of transferring the germs of that patients to the frontline employers, maybe doctors and nurses. So to avoid that, the masks and the hand gloves they are using. So the hand gloves, that is, you can say the white fingers. Why? Because they are using the long time. That is even throughout the shift times. So what the things are changing? So that is we need to improve. We need to improve because we need to reduce the side effects. As I said before, so due to because it's white fingers, it will lead to the numbness. If the numbness will start, so the total nerve system of the body will get destroyed. So what is this thing stopping now? That is the duration of the action. So we have to take that immediate action on that. So in this point of view, I taken not exactly the application. So just I taken today's one product, that is to prevent the hand. Generally, one of the major part of transferring, or can say the getting infected by this virus is through the hand. So that is the reason why we are using sanitizer and we are washing our hands regularly. So to avoid that, gloves even, especially I taken the one particular application point of view. For the kids point of view as well as individual point of view, I made one door handle key. So the door handle, you can open your doors, you can open your keys, and even you can open your car doors, and even you can carry your grocery goods even from supermarket to the home. So that is what I designed. Just we will see that design product, how we design and how to avoid at least this kind of white fingers, as well as even avoiding the spreading of the coronavirus if you carry that device with you. Yes, what is happening now? This is what we experienced, and what is happening now. Getting grip of the new way of working. So our working style is completely different. One accepts we are completely following all the remote platforms. So that's one way of getting the grip of that is getting the technological development. We of course you can say we are 10 years ahead, even I can say like that. But at the same time there are some drawbacks even. So if we adopt if you adopt this kind of working environment, so there is no social life. Even that's what the problem we are going to face. So that's the new working style we are looking. And what changes will make. So this is completely changing and completely in chaos conditions. So all industries and all things confused state, and even there is a lost, even the lot of crisis on the economy even. So because of this pandemic, so will the company will survive with this because of all these confusions and the things which are affected. And there is an opportunity for engineers to design and help to shape the future. So how you are going to shape the future by using the technology, so to meet all these kind of demands, as well as even to change our way of working style. So impact of this pandemic, urgent demand. There is a huge demand for some goods, as I said before, especially for the PPE point of view and even the respiratory point of view. So how to meet this kind of demands, can be catered. So that is with the simple way I can show you. Yes, to meet all these kind of demands, yes, it is possible. It's easy as 1, 2, 3D steps. So 1, you have to design, you have to get the idea. 2nd, to design. 3, to print. So this is what the simple basic way the entire countries, especially the more affected countries, I can say Italy, one of the Europe country, and even US and the UK. So this is what the principle they are following now to meet the urgent demanded goods, especially the PPE goods. So first they are getting the idea, so to design the particular component, and to get the idea, so how to solve the problem. And they are designing the same component, and the same design component they are printing directly. So we will see in detail now how it is easy to make the component compared with your our conventional manufacturing methods. So what is product design? So as we know very well, generally if we want to make one component, so first we have to design. So what actually the meaning of design? So we have to make our idea into the real object. So how this product design will start? So the product design start with an idea. So the idea may be new, or idea may be for continuous improvement. After getting this idea, so just you have to go for the conceptual design. You can say conceptual drawing. So after to get the clear detail and clear idea of what you got idea, that you have to present on the drawing, that is the conceptual drawing. After getting the conceptual drawing, just you have to go for the complete detailed drawing. So how many components it is having, what are the specifications of that, what kind of material required, so what kind of the machineries are required to complete that product. Entire details will get in the detailed design. And after that, you have to get here the final product you are going to get. That's what the product design means. So product design means completely, it is like making one idea, and from that idea you are going to get the component, and you are going to make the component based on your idea. So by making that concept detailed design, after that you are going to identify the required machineries, and you are going to make the final object what you want to make. So this is what the first thing is, you have to get the idea. So that's what even we made, myself and Mr. Dayaprasad, mechanical section. So we given one proposal for the WHO, so the thermal screener actually. So we had that idea. So we represented the same idea to the WHO, but of course still it is under process only. They're not yet confirmed that idea. So that's what the idea may be new, especially to avoid this corona. What we are seeing, that thermal screening, right? The same device where we had low thermal radioactivity. We designed, we had that plan, and we shared the same thing to that WHO. So in order to make, if they get the chance, we will try to make that component even. So that's what the idea means. It may be a new idea, it may be the existing component to increase its performance. So any kind of ideas. So you have to make the conceptual drawings, then complete detailed drawing, then finally you will get the final component. Then if you go for the steps of the product design, generally many researchers and many textbooks having different kind of articles. So going for this different kind of product design steps actually. So we will summarize, and we will see the detailed steps of the product design. So that is the synthesis. The first phase of this product step comes under synthesis. Synthesis means generating or making the new ideas by a group of people. Here can say, so by the experts, or can say by the design engineers, or can say by the researchers as a team. So they will try to come up with the what is the problem where they are facing. So for that problem, so they have to get the clear idea. So here you will get the different kind of ideas to solve the problem. That's what the synthesis phase to generate the idea. So after getting this ideas, just you can go for the sketch. So whatever the idea you are getting, just you can go for the conceptual drawing, that as I said before. So you have to go for the sketching of that particular device what you are making. Then analysis. So this is very important part in product design, especially to overcome the failures. Especially in the synthesis, as I said, here you will get the number of can say many alternative ideas. So, but in the market, for example, if you're having 100 ideas, so in the market it will reach to only 2 or 1 idea. So that will be the effective idea. So here you are going to analyze that ideas in different manners, like in that product technical matter point of view, so that product environmental point of view, that product safety point of view, so that product cost point of view. So these are the different kind of analysis will analyze here in this step completely to finalize that idea, which one is the best for that. Along with that, even in this analysis phase, even you are going to face another thing, that is what is the resources available, what will be its manufacturing process, and what is its cost even. So what is the assembly and what will the inspection, all these details also you are going to analyze in this analysis phase. That's it. That means analysis means in the form of functional analysis as well as physical analysis of the complete idea what you generated. And that selection. So after this analysis, complete analysis, you will come to know the conclusions, which is the best idea among all the ideas what you generated. That is, you are going to select finally. So after selection, you will go for the basic engineering. So in this basic engineering, you are going to identify the complete layout of your product, what you are going to produce. And also you are going to calculate what will be its strength and the properties required point of view, and what will be the optimal material for that, which material will suit completely to generate that component. So these details you will get in the basic engineering. Then after getting your idea and after getting all the component detail including the material type, so you will go for detailed design. In this detailed design, you will go for complete components with the complete components specifications, how many components required even to go for the assembly of that product to finalize. So that's the details you will get here. And after getting all the details, you will go for the prototypes to come to know the shape, what will be the shape of that product looks like. So even that's one way of making the prototype, and second way is to test, even that can say the evaluation. So you are going to test by making of different ways, what will be its withstanding, what will be its life, even what will be its strength, so hardness, all these things you are going to test even in the prototype. And once the prototype is done, just straight away you can go for the manufacturing. Sometimes even after getting the detailed design, straight away they will go for the manufacturing. So here this is what the manufacturing means, the starting point here. So what generally we know the manufacturing. So here they will take the raw material, that means from the basic engineering. So what is the material they identified. So from that material they will come to know based on the detailed design what kind of method, technique, manufacturing technique required. Whether you can go for casting, or you can go for the forging, or even we can go for the forming type of different manufacturing methods. Of course, even the 3D printing has came to the picture now. So the manufacturing completely changed now. The structure of the manufacturing compared with conventional manufacturing, the 3D printing, we will see now. Today we will discuss at least the overview of 3D printing. And once the manufacturing is done by selecting the suitable manufacturing method, so you will get the final component after assembling, then after inspection, then after from the market to the customer it will come. So here the operation means here the exact the customer usage of the product. For example, I am using the laptop. So this laptop can say Lenovo, manufactured by the Lenovo company. But as a user I am using now. This is under the operation. If I face any difficulties under the operation, so these kind of issues will come to the point of in the operation. So for example, this can say like the customer, how he is facing and how he is satisfied with the existing product. So how he is operating and what will be his life, even entire details will come to know in this operation. So for example, if the customer is not satisfied and there was some issues, I can say, so through the feedback, so they will try to identify the problems and they will note all the failures of, can say failure in the sense, the issues of that particular product. So in the product development, they will resolve all these customer feedbacks, what they given and what kind of failures of that particular component, and again the problems what the raised by the customer. So in the product development, they will try to resolve it, and they will try to remodel again, and they will produce the component by resolving all the issues of the customer. So this is what the product development is, continuous development. It is not one step. Once you are designing, when you are producing, then you are sending to the customer. No. So this is like a continuous and a cycle process. That's what the product design. So idea generation to resolve that problem, then getting the final product. So to make this idea again to implement, again it will start from the synthesis and sketching, analysis, selection, basic engineering, detailed design, prototype, and manufacturing. This is what the cycle. So from your idea and so product. This is what the challenging for the design engineers nowadays, because of this COVID pandemic. So to develop the different kind of the products, especially as I said before, N95 mask. So that's one of the drawback. Can say the drawback in the sense the wearing of that mask continuously leads to the reduction in the oxygen level of our body and then the blood. So that's the one issue, and there was a rubs even on the face. So in order to avoid that one, that we need to go for further development. That's what this is one example I am saying. So like that, there are different challenges, and that's the challenges for the product designers. So to make further developments to make the effective product. And now we will see how would you make this component. If you see these two components, you will come to know the picture, that is engine block and crankshaft, as we know very well. So this is my question for the attendees. Try to make how you will produce this component on your chart box. Try to type on the chart box. I will see your answers on how you are going to make this component, especially the engine block and the crankshaft. As we know the basic mechanical engineering what we studied. So these components you are going to make completely with the casting process. So in this casting process, you have to go for the mold design. You have to design the mold cavity. So from that mold cavity, you have to pour the liquid material, and again you will go for the solidification process. Then again you will remove the patterns, and then finally we are going to get the product. So this is what I can say the huge or complex objects we are going to produce with the casting process. But as of now, because of the advanced developments and manufacturing sector especially, you as I said before, idea and product, idea, design, then 3D printing. So this is what the 3D printing you are going to make the engine block completely. So the 3 steps: getting an idea, so how to make that component problem, from the problem, so get an idea, so then design that component, then feed that design component to the 3D printer, so it will print automatically. We will see that process in detail now. And this is also one of the 3D printed component, that is the crankshaft completely printed with a 3D printing machine. And if you see, this is one of the biggest component in the world, that is the biggest reciprocating engine, which is going to use in the ship. So the biggest crankshaft, I can say. In future, maybe we may get even the production with the 3D printing machine, the same kind of huge components even. It is not stick to the only linear or thin oriented objects. Even we can get even the more huge components even instead of the casting process. This is what the generative designs, the upcoming designs, actually I can say the design pattern is completely changed from the customer requirement point of view. So generative designs, this kind of shapes and this kind of models are getting very attractive, and so this is going to be one of the famous thing. So the upcoming design engineers, this is the concept they have to come to know, they keep in their mind even, so to make the effective generative designs. And the second point, also one of the key point for the upcoming design engineers, so that is safety design point of view also. So especially because of this COVID pandemic conditions, so the design engineers having more on generative designs as well as even more on the antibacterial products designs. So to prevent the virus, as not only coronavirus, even to the other kind of viruses. So this is one of the creative safety designs, also one of the leading area for the design engineers for the upcoming days. And as you are seeing some kind of experience what we have seen previously, this COVID pandemic days, and we saw the how to go for the product design, and now we will see the printing, that is additive manufacturing. So how you are going to print the component. So additive manufacturing is the process of manufacturing physical objects in a layer by layer manner directly from the CAD model. So this is what the steps I said. First step, make the idea. Second step, design the component. Third step, print. That's what it will print directly from the CAD model, that is 3D model. So layer by layer manner. That is why the name given as additive manufacturing. Adding additive manufacturing in the sense adding layer by layer manufacturing. If you go for the conventional manufacturing process, so conventional manufacturing is subtraction. You are getting the component and you can say raw material. So from the raw material, you are subtracting the extra material so to get the required shape. So, but whereas in the additive manufacturing, you are adding layer by layer. That's what, that too with the CAD model, without human interference and without any tools and dies. If you go for the conventional machine, you have to keep your workpiece in the check, and you have to go for the workpiece is properly fixed or not. If the workpiece is not fixed, so you have to go for the fixture for the particular machine. And tools point of view, if the tools are not fixed properly, and even to increase the life of the tool, you have to use the jigs. So this is the additional cost again for the manufacturing, conventional manufacturing. But whereas in the additive manufacturing, you are completely eliminating. There is no tools required and there is no dies required. So completely you are making the 3D model. So from the 3D model, you are making the component by layer manner. And as per the, according to the ISO and ASTM, additive manufacturing can be defined as is the process of joining materials to make part from 3D model. You can say 3D model data here, there's CAD data. So usually layer by layer as opposed to subtractive manufacturing. As I said before, subtractive means you are subtracting hello.
Yes.
Any the component by layer by layer.
Yeah. Yes, Krishna.
Any issues?
Nothing. Please continue.
Why my slide is disappeared for me?
It is coming.
It is coming for you?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. 1 second. Yeah, as I said, in subtractive manufacturing, sorry for the interruption. So as I said before, the subtractive manufacturing, you have to subtract, you are removing the unwanted material to get the final shape. Whereas the 3D printing, so from the 3D model data, so you are using the 3D model data and you are making the product by layer. So that's what the additive manufacturing given by the ISO and ASTM. So how to get started? As I said before, if you want to make the component, first you require the idea. So from the idea, you are going to go for the conceptual drawings. From the conceptual drawings, you will get the final design. So if you design that component, so automatically you are going to make the, that is, you can say 3D printing. So that is 3D printing process. As you can see the sequence of operations in 3D printing, where it will start and where it will end. So as I said before, it is layer by layer manufacturing. So first thing is what you want to get, you have to make the 3D model. So from the 3D model, you have to convert the 3D model. That is, you have to save the 3D model into .stl format. So stereolithography language, that is a steel means this language for the 3D printer which will understand properly. The .stl format, what it will do actually, the .stl format will make the complete layers, and through the slicing process, it will make the G-code file. So that is what we want in the slicing process, or can say slicing software. So the 3D model you are saving in .stl file. That .stl file you are importing to the slicing software. Here in this slicing software, you will going to make layer slices in the first bottom layer, next second layer, next third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer. So how many layers it is required, that depends upon your product design. In the slicing software, you are going to get all the slices and the tool path. So based on this number of layers and the tool path, you are going to get the file, that is, you can say the G-code file. So that G-code file is the final code of, you can say, file, so which will shows all the animation, how it will print. So the same G-code file from the slicing software, you can take from your flash or through the SD card or hard disk, So straight away you can feed to the AM process, that is printing machine. So if you feed that G-code file, that is slicer file, so to the 3D printing machine, so it will print automatically your component. So that's what the basic simple steps in the additive manufacturing. We'll see in detail how it is started. So the 3D printing is developed by the Charles Chuckhull in USA. So he is the father of the rapid prototyping. So when the first industrial application that is witnessed by 3D printing is in 1983. So the future of the manufacturing, so we can say the subtractive manufacturing, forming manufacturing, casting manufacturing, additive manufacturing. So as I said before, so of course we have the subtract manufacturing, forming and casting. So additive manufacturing will make our future manufacturing. So now I will try to show one video. So what is subtraction manufacturing, what is forming, and what is casting manufacturing with comparing with 3D printing. We'll see now.
But what is a 3D printer, and how does 3D printing allow us to make almost anything from nothing? Well, first, we need to take a step back and look at how we normally make stuff. Basically, there are 4 ways we make things. The first way is called subtractive manufacturing. In subtractive manufacturing, we take a lump of material like wood or metal or stone, and we cut away some parts of it to make the thing we want. So, we remove or subtract, just like you do in maths, the material we don't need to create something. And this could be carving a wooden chair from a tree or making a statue from some stone. The second way of making stuff is called forming. And here we take a block of material and we apply a force to change its shape. My personal favourite of a formed object is Wallace and Gromit, made by shaping or forming plasticine. The third way we make things is called casting. And this is where you take a solid material, you make it into a liquid, and you pour it into a mould. And a nice example of casting, one of my favourites, is the way we make chocolate bunnies and Easter eggs. There's also a fourth way we make stuff, and that is called additive manufacturing. And this is where we have nothing to begin with, and you take your material and you add it exactly where you want it until you have your final object. 3D printing is one type of additive manufacturing, and it involves making an object by adding material one tiny layer at a time. So, how do you do that? Well, it all starts by making a drawing of the thing you want on your computer. The computer then makes a special kind of file which it sends to the 3D printer. And the 3D printer reads that file and prints the object layer by layer to make the thing you want. That sounds interesting, but why would you want to do that? 3D printing can help people to make new shapes and new objects that were not previously possible, and all sorts of different materials can be used, like plastics or metals or food, or even living cells that your body is made of. So, who uses 3D printers? Who cares about this? Engineers are using 3D printers to make parts of jet engines that are lighter and stronger, to make aeroplanes more efficient and use less fuel. Doctors are using 3D printers to make new hands and arms and legs that are perfectly fitted for the patients who need them. Even chefs are experimenting to make amazing new types of food that you just couldn't even imagine. And hospitals are using 3D printers to make new body parts for people, such as new bones, to repair really bad fractures, perhaps to the face or to the hand, and even using 3D printers to make objects from cartilage, the thing that your ear is made of, to make new ears for people who may have had a bad accident. One day, we may even be able to 3D print new organs inside your body, like kidneys or livers, using the patient's own cells in these printers. 3D printing is already changing the way we make stuff, and who knows what amazing things that you could make with a 3D printer in the future.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So you will come to know the detailed picture of how the conventional manufacturing to 3D printing. Now we'll see the basic definition, as I said before. So it is the layer by layer manufacturing. So from the 3D data, you can say 3D model. So you are going to get the layer by layer with different kind of, irrespective of the materials, you can use plastic materials, metals, concrete, even powders, or even the human tissues. You can see here how the comparison of additive manufacturing and subtractive manufacturing in detail with the simple picture. And at the down, you can see the different kind of 3D printing, how you are going to get different components as design and making. It will start from the raw material. If it is subtractive manufacturing, starting raw material, and you can go for using the different kind of conventional machines like lathe machine, milling machine, drilling machine. So you are going to cut, you are going to reduce that component to make the final shape. That is 3D model what we want. You will get more waste. So that is what the scrap, you can say, the wastage material. So if it is reusable, means you can reuse. If it is not, so it is completely waste. So if you go for the additive manufacturing, so additive manufacturing, it is completely plastics, powders, this kind of materials you can use. That's what they can say the wastage of the conventional manufacturing even. So the same material you can use here, and the same material you can feed to the additive manufacturing. Then additive manufacturing will melt that product, and you can say metal, then it will go to the required shape what you given the 3D model. Based on the data, it will scan all the data and it will print. So finally we are going to get the final object with the zero wastage. So that's what the additive manufacturing importance. So some of the examples you can see here, additive manufacturing. So it is, you can say, the 3D printed office of the future in Dubai. So they made this new office type completely with 3D printed. And you can see here the 3D printing houses even. So construction site point of view. So nowadays even some kind of houses, even they printed with 3D printing. How it will work? How solid is printed. You can see this is how the 3D printing is printing. You can say the construction point of view or home. And even you can see the one more animation. So how it will print the homes even directly. So block by block. And you can see here the cost point of view, the manufacturing or production cost point of view, forming and subtractive and even additive, as you are seeing there before. So through the subtractive and forming, if you want to make single component, you can imagine what will be the cost. You can see the number of cost versus cost per parts. So the forming and subtractive will make the very high cost at the beginning if you want to go for single or two objects or components. But whereas additive manufacturing is linear and constant, even if you go for mass production, even you can go for the batch production. So that's what the advantage of the additive manufacturing. So why we are the most important for the additive manufacturing. And what are the different advantages even compare with the conventional manufacturing? So save different kind of material, that is wastage and energy, and manufacture complex geometries. As I said before, genetic design. Have you seen the genetic design complex models? So it is very hard and difficult even to go for the conventional manufacturing. But with 3D printing, you can go for the complex geometries. Only thing is you have to design the generative design, then you can feed to the 3D printing machine, it will print. So quicker prototyping and reduce lead time. So you are going to make the exact prototype what you want to make the component. So mass customization and over mass production, you will get the exact component what you want, with the mass production even. And what kind of inputs we are going to give for the additive manufacturing? So is it only a 3D model you have to give the input as we discussed up to now? No. So there are another ways also we are going to give the input, that is reverse engineering and through the CT and MRI scanner data. So we know the 3D model. So 3D model you are going to design by any kind of design softwares like AutoCAD, SolidWorks or CATIA and Unigraphics. Of course, the latest softwares like SketchUp software also you are going to make even different, that is can say the simple way of designing the models came now, the new advanced softwares even. So that CAD data you will give to the 3D, that is .STL format, you will give to the 3D printer. But what about in reverse engineering and CT and MRI scan? So these two methods, as we know, the reverse engineering, you are going to scan the component completely with the complete the whole body and the same digital data. You are going to save to the .STL file, and the .STL file you are going to slice, making the G-code file by layer. The same way even with the CT and MRI scanners also. So scan the component what you want to produce. So the same component you are going to make, the digital data you are going to save in .STL file. So that .STL file you will go for the slicing process. So where the G code will form, as well as even you will get the layer by layer manufacturing, layer by layer structure. So the same G file, if you feed to the 3D printer machine, so it will work. That means you can go by CAD model, or you can go for reverse engineering, or you can go for the MRI scan digital data. So directly you are going to print. This is the three ways, three inputs for the additive manufacturing. So how this part can be built, how you design, so through the CAD models, as I said before, you can go for a FreeCAD and AutoCAD, Tinkercad, even AutoCAD, Auto Inventor, Auto Fusion, SolidWorks, CATIA, Creo even. So SCADA and even the SketchUp, the latest one of the softwares. Today we will see the SketchUp software, how simple is easy to make the 3D model. So what kind of materials you will go for the additive manufacturing? So not all materials is difficult to go for the manufacturing with the 3D printing. So especially hard type of materials like a titanium type. So since there's a huge development has to come on the additive manufacturing to go for the hard type of materials. And you can right now you will go for polymer materials, the ceramic materials, and the metals even. So of course with others also you can go for paper printing and adhesive sheets, and even biochemicals and the chocolates. So how you classify the 3D printing machine? So that is, as I said before, based on the type of the material type. You can go for liquid material, solid material, and powder material. So liquid based completely photopolymerization and inkjet printings. Solid based is completely sheet laminated and wire drawing. So powder based completely binder deposition, powder bed fusion, and energy dispersive. So what we will see now, the different kind of methods available in 3D printing. Of course, there are different kind of 3D printers are available. So these are the common and major 3D printers which we are going to use. We will see the working, how it will work. So the major, one of the major 3D printing can say the machine which is utilized in the globally now is fused deposition modeling. So that can say simply, you can say it is FDM, fused deposition modeling. That is completely solid based 3D printer. And the second one is stereolithography, SLE, that is liquid based 3D printer. Selective laser sintering, SLS, that is powder based. Direct metal laser sintering, that is DMLS, that is powder based completely. We will see now the working, how it will work. If you see the FDM, so as I said before, after getting your .stl file to the 3D printer, so what it will do, it will do all the G-code file, and it will make the filament ready. That from the roller you can see the plastic filament feed from the coil to supply the material. So where the temperature control, there it will start the melting of your filament, what you are using. For example, if you are going for the polymer type, so it will melt up to the melting point, that is temperature control is completely automatic control. So according, it will, based on type of material, it will make the melting point, and the liquid material will feed to the nozzle. From the nozzle, it will make print directly. As you can see in this animation, so the starting base, first layer, second layer, third layer, 4, 5, and you will get based on the number of layers available on the slicing process file, it will make the complete object layer by layer. And if you go for a stereolithography, so this is completely liquid based. So here you are going to get the tank of material, that is liquid material. So here you will get two components here, scanner system and UV laser. So scanner system will scan the complete you can say the slicing model what you feed to the printer. So it will scan the data, and according to that scan data, the layer formation, so it will move the UV layer, so to make the component on the tanker. So that's what simple way of making the SLA process. And you can see the selective laser sintering. So here also the same process with the scanner, but here you will get the powder. So this is SLS is completely powder based 3D printer. So the powder plastic will come, come from the outside to the tank, and it will fill in the tank. So the scanner will move front and back, so to make the component which is given by the scanner system. The scanner system will scan the data given what they obtained from the slice process. And this is the direct metal laser sintering. This is one of the method completely to manufacture the mechanical components. As you can see here, the gear you are manufacturing with the direct metal laser sintering by using the different powders. So you can see here one form, the powder is coming from outside. The laser is striking directly on the component. You can see here. So this is the way you are going to get the gear with the powder. And you can see some of the examples. These are all completely made with the additive manufacturing. You can see the jet engine prototype completely made with the 3D printing, especially FDM. And you can see some of the consumer products, that is a food and herb grinder, especially for the kitchen utilization. Even can see the 3D printer hand. If the persons who is not having fingers, so nowadays no need to even to worry. Just we are going to get with the 3D printer, you are going to get that. So that 3D printed hand even with the fingers, which will function as like our human body, and with the different kinds of plastic joints. Not only this, you will get even different kind of consumable goods with the 3D printer. And you can see now I want to share what is the advancement and the demand required for this COVID-19. And there are many innovative projects in this 3D printing. So below are some of the present and most popular, the most interesting and the most functional of them. The N95 mask. So this is completely for the front workers, you can say, frontline workers, especially doctors and nurses. So to prevent from the infected patients, N95 masks they are wearing. And it is produced completely with the plastic materials. And the mask ventilator, this is one of the huge development in Italy especially. So due to because of the huge increasing rate every day in the Italy, so they made completely the mask and the ventilator. So to make to meet that demand to protect the corona patients, they developed this ventilator completely with the 3D printer. And this is a face mask. This especially. So to avoid this N95 mask failures, so this face mask has been developed with the antibacterial material. So the advantage of this face mask is, so it will stick on to your face whatever the shape you want. For example, if you come to the point of different country personalities having the different face structures, so it is not constant the same for all the human being. So the face structure with this my face antibacterial material mask, it will stick on to your face shape and size what you want. And this is another type of printable ventilator with the minimum cost of ventilator. It is developed in the Italy, so with less than 50 euros. And of course, some of the things. This is a face shield, protective shield. It can be stick with the 3D printer completely, so without any human interference. And easy breath mask. This is also one of the development. Easy breath mask. Also, it will keep yourself safe. And it will stick on to your face mold, whatever the face structure you will get. So it will stick on to the face as the face structure. So it will make automatically. It will form automatically as per the requirement shape. And VASP MySpace helmet. So this is one of the development events. So to avoid the spreading of the coronavirus. So the whole head will be covered under the helmet. At the top there was a hole, and at the back there was a battery-oriented motor. So in order to circulate the fresh air inside and to make it a clear visualization as well as hearing, so they made this completely with the 3D printed. And mask adjuster, this is also one of the major part. You can say it's just a simple component, but so as we are facing, even if you wear the mask continuously for 4 hours or 6 or 8 hours, your ear will get pain. So in order to avoid that, so the mask adjuster also developed and printed with the 3D printing machine. So this is what the innovative things, even a few more, that is completely the 3D printer quarantine pods. So because of the rapid increase in the corona cases, so there is no place even for the hospitals. So with the 3D printing machine completely they made with the 3D printed quarantine pod. As you can see, even in the China also, so they made the quarantine separate hospital within 8 days, around 1,000 rooms. So that is completely based on the 3D printed objects like this kind of quarantine pods. And you can see here, this is the world's first functional 3D printed building inaugurated in Dubai. So it is already in the functional now. You can see how much the development growth has been came across with the 3D printing machine. You can say 3D printing technology. And now I will try to show the door handle product. So how to design with the SketchUp software and how we can make with the Cura. So that is a simulation. So my intention of here is I made a very simple component which will be useful for the kids point of view especially. Why? Because they are not aware of that how the coronavirus is spreading from one person to the other person. So even we can also use the same component, that is the door handle, and I explained in detail so how it will be manufactured, designed and sliced, then how you are going to print the animation, and what are the uses of that component also I shown. So this is intention is only to show how the 3D printing is looks like. Now we will see the design of the door handle with the SketchUp software. We will start the SketchUp software. This is the door handle we want to design through the SketchUp software. We will see the commands which we will use in this. So after starting the SketchUp, you will get this icon. So go for simple, click on the simple button. This is the user interface you will get. This is the where the geometrical area we can design our model. So now go to rectangle entity, command. So just you can make the rectangle base or as an origin as a starting point. You can go for the rectangle, and now go for push full option to go for the command. Go for the extension, that is extrude. So this is what the rectangle block what we want as per our design. And now try to reduce the sharp edges to make it smoothness of all the edges to make it safe. Yes, so select with the arc. I'm making all the arcs on all 4 sides, 4 edges. So now I will choose push pull. Just I will try to remove that unwanted material on the sharp edges. Yes, so all becomes now smooth edges. That is, now I will go for the slot on both sides as per our model design by selecting the rectangle again. So I will draw the 2 rectangles. Then again I will go for push pull command. So to remove that extra material, I can say unwanted material on that. Cut off is done. Now I will try to make the 2 circles. So I will choose 2 circles from the circle command, and this circles especially to holding purpose. If you want to add some tags, you can add the tags to make it effective carrying. Why? Because it is handle is only for you only, so to operate yourself. Yes, this is one which you are going to get adding the tag, and even can carry with the fingers. And try to remove that slot edges to make it smooth, because you are operating with the hand. Okay, so it should be smooth enough. So try to make a fillet there. Yes, we done fillet. And now in order to identify the person who is handling this, we have to give the names here. Okay, so go to 3D text. This is the 3D text entity. So just you can enter your name there, then save to export to .stl format. And now select the Cura software from the program files. Just now the program Cura software is loading. This is the user interface Cura software. And here you can see the simulation of all the 3D printing operation what you've done. Now go to load, select the file what you saved in .stl format, and yes, this is the object what we saved previously. Now it is imported. Select it. So 3 axes will get enabled, X, Y, Z axis. Now drag to front, so to make it clear visualization, especially for the animation purpose. Now you can see. Yeah, slicing is active. So click on the object and click on the slice. That is, you can see the blue button there. Yes, that blue button. If you click there, so it will slice the object, the 3D model. So slicing means layer by layer making and generating the G-code format, G-code file. So the same G-code file you can go to the 3D printing machine so that it can print automatically. Yes, now you can see the layer. If you see the right corner, there was one button. If I increase the layer, it will increase the layers one by one. You can see now I'm increasing layer 1. Yes, I increased completely so that it is going full layers are formed. And this is the final object what we made, what we designed. Now this you can see the another view. Yes, this is the base. Okay, yes, increase the layer again. Then increase the layers. One, yes, increase the layer. Increase the layer. Yes, still now the object is printing layer by layer. It is printing layer by layer. Now the object is printed. Then slicing through Cura software. So slicing turns a digital 3D model into G-code file. That is that the G-code file you can directly feed to the 3D printer, so it will print automatically. That's what you can see. 3D model, then slice, adding it layer by layer, 3D printing. So then your final object. See what are the uses of this? So what is the most exposed part of the coronavirus are our hands. What if you can protect our hands and still do all the works? So this is the final key you can avoid the spreading of coronavirus. First thing is you can go for a door locking and unlocking, even to open the doors, keys, and even for lift buttons, to operate lift buttons, and even for locking and unlocking your car handles, or car doors even, and even to carry your grocery bags from the supermarket. So this is a 3D printing key, safety key. So keep your hands safe, keep yourself safe. Yeah, this is what the product to avoid the model. So which I developed to make it completely to avoid the spreading of the virus. There are different applications, 3D printing. Of course, the huge development came from 2018, even for the upcoming days 2026. So even the food, you can see the 3D printers completely in the food sectors, especially restaurants. So to make even the cakes also, you are producing with the food, and even level for research and development sectors, healthcare, especially for meeting all this kind of PPE related products, aerospace. So this is one of the major sector of the 3D printer. Now the aerospace sector is completely replacing the conventional products with the 3D printer products, and of course architecture in the construction side also. So even for the entertainment, so to build the kids toys, even automobile. So also they are planning to go for different change in the parts designing, and even for the defense, and even construction, biomedical, education, and fashion. These are the major areas covering by the 3D printer. So you can see the aerospace applications. So this is the aircrafts completely replacing the parts. You can see here A350 XWB aircraft with 100 parts are replacing. So NASA rover currently containing 75 FDM, that is fusion deposition modeling 3D printed parts. And in 2015, Aurora flight, since the first unnamed aircraft UAE consists of more than 80% of 3D printed parts are replaced now. And Boeing, 20,000 plus FDM 3D parts are using now. And the health and medical point of view, you can see the many kind of ear related the devices, you can say hearing aids. So it is printing directly with the 3D printer, and you can see the live organs, especially the lungs, so which is printed directly with the 3D printer machine. So we can use effectively, and even it has been developed in the medical sectors also. And you can see some of the customized products even. So you can see 3D hubs, you can see the rings, and you can see even the additive Adidas shoes, even they are printing with 3D printer nowadays. So even the jewelries you are going to print with 3D printer directly, and you can chocolates even. So in the restaurants you can get the 3D printer, and of course food heater also with the 3D printer you are going to get. And this is the main of my case study. Actually, how the additive manufacturing is very important part in the upcoming days. So for the Terran rocket, so they made, if you want to go for the traditional manufacturing, around 100,000 parts required at the beginning. If you go for the 3D printer manufacturing, you are making it as less than even 1,000 parts. So it takes 24 months to build time. So with the 3D printer, you can go for 3 months build time. So 48 months iteration time. So now because of 3D printer, it becomes 6 months time. So human design parts here completely computer generated design. So complex supply chain here, simplified supply chain. So static manufacturing process completely with artificial intelligence, continuously improving manufacturing process. So this is what the case study Terran rocket. Previously it has taken some years. Now it becomes within 1 year you are going to build the component. So this is what the scope of the upcoming days, which you are going to get. You can see from 2016. So what will be the range with the different kind of 3D printer, especially fusion deposition modeling FDM. So if you see the 2027, so how much change it is, Chris? It is increasing the usage of the 3D printer components completely. So that's what the global 3D printing market could scale $97 billion by 2027. So compounding at 65% annual rate. So that's the consumption rate is increasing, and utilizing of the 3D components are increasing. And you can see the upcoming targets even, that is medical COVID-19 impact, ventilators, especially not only ventilators, even different kind of PPE equipments and different kind of shelters point of view. So there was a lot of huge development and even the upcoming sector. Maybe it comes under the medical. And if you see some of the automotive companies, especially made with car, the 3D printed car, completed with 3D printing. And even you can see the aerospace and defense, as we discussed before, completely the aerospace components nowadays, they're replacing. So to go for the effective utilization as well as effective performance. That is what the reason. If you reduce the weight of that particular component or complete device, so there may be chances of increasing the fuel consumption rate. That is what the economy point of view. And even for the defense sectors also, they are to protect from the enemies. So they are designing and they are producing the different kind of use defense products for the soldiers especially. And this is one of the world's smallest 3D printer satellite, as you might be aware of this. In Tamil Nadu, India, one student of 18 years old, he developed a 3D printed machine, especially with the FDM. This is one of the Guinness World Record. And it is you can see 64 grams weight it is having. So it is flatted in the cube structure. So fully 3D printed, reinforced carbon fiber polymer is used for the material. And it is equipped with a nano Geiger Muller counter, which will measure the radiation in the space. So this is what the developments and came across on all the 3D printers and 3D printing devices and the future scope of the 3D printers. You can imagine how it is easy to develop the components and how it is easy to manufacture the components. And even you can see the smallest 3D printer component, and even it has been approved by the NASA, launched the world smallest satellite even. It is under the functional. You can imagine how much the development came across the 3D printer machine. So these are the references. If you want to download the softwares, I given these links. You can download directly the softwares. It is user friendly, and of course it is having only free version. So 1 month only you can use that one, and again you can reinstall the software, so it will work. Thank you.